Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mornings with Loretta. And let me tell you, I know we're in the hustle and bustle of this holiday shopping season and just celebrating. But let me tell you this, I have to slow this down because who wants to spend the holidays sick in bed? And so there's a lot of information that's going on. We have one of the best of the best of the best to talk about this. You know, there's some stuff happening in China, and we want to prepare you so that you can enjoy your holiday and not just have stress from shopping. You certainly don't want to have stress from being sick. So Dr. Karcher is here to help us with that. How are you, Dr. Karcher?
I'm fine, Loretta. Thanks very much for having me.
Absolutely. I'm just going to jump back in there. So Can you tell us what is happening now with respiratory illnesses and how concerned should we be?
Well, we should always be concerned and be on the lookout. Respiratory illnesses are very much on our minds right now. And of course, it's the holiday season. We are seeing an increase in respiratory infections in parts of the country. That's actually going on in other countries as well. And this is not a surprise. This is typical for this time of year. These diseases always increase in the fall and winter months. One of the things that is a little disconcerting, however, is that the vaccination rate in the US is really lagging. People tend to be all vaxxed out right now, but given what we've been through in the last few years, but vaccination still is the most important thing we can do. I checked some numbers from the CDC, and less than 40% of adults and children have gotten the flu vaccine, and less than 20% have gotten the new updated COVID vaccine. Even adults under age 65, who we know are more vulnerable to COVID, less than 50% have gotten the new updated vaccine. So this is really putting people at risk and could certainly affect holiday celebrations.
Definitely going to affect, because I already see it in just my friends, nothing on the news. I'm talking about things that I'm hearing from my friends and at these events, how they all know somebody. And then there's a thing such as a triple pneumonia. I'm like, and you can get all three at one time. We need your help. So I want to talk about children now, because you already mentioned that elderly are very susceptible to that. What can parents look for? And what can they look for and do to mitigate the illness and the effect on the rest of the family, including our elderly friends and relatives?
Yeah, so, certainly protecting our kids protects everyone. We already talked about vaccination, and, vaccines take about 10 to 14 days to kick in. So right now would be the perfect time to go and get that shot. But there's lots of other things that we can do to protect our kids and protect everyone in the family. One is hand washing. Very simple, either with soap and water or hand sanitizer. The old adage about washing your hands with soap and water for as long as it takes you to sing happy birthday makes it sure that you've washed your hands adequately. Also, sanitizing surfaces, things like doorknobs or kitchen countertops or grocery basket handles. Any place where there might be germs lurking, a quick wipe with a sanitizing wipe can really help make those safer. There's also masking. I know everyone's really tired of wearing masks, but they can really help, not only to protect yourself, but others around you. That's really important, for instance, when we're in crowded places, like at the grocery or in a store or on an airplane, where I know many of us are going to be in the coming days.
Yes, yeah.
Wearing masks, particularly important. I wanted to mention our elderly relatives and friends. Masking can really help them. That's particularly important around the holiday gatherings.
Okay, so you said a whole lot, and then we had a question, and then I'll go back to my question. So, had one of our viewers to ask: Do we need to get the RSV vaccination, and what is that for us who don't know?
Yeah, so RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, has been around for a long time. It's not a new illness, but it tends to be very severe in very young children and older adults over age 65. Thankfully, there is now a vaccine available for RSV, and we're certainly encouraging people, particularly people over age 65, to consider getting that vaccine. That can really protect those folks from getting serious illness, and RSV can result in serious illness.
Okay, I have so many questions. You just don't know because I just love physical therapy and I wear my mask. And there's not even that many people in there, but there are other offices that I got to walk past their doors and other people that walk down the hall. So, Dr. Kotcher, I'm wearing my mask. I wear it when I shop, especially if I know there's a lot of people. I'm traveling next month, like a lot of people are. I have masks everywhere. So, and then we became so complacent, right? Because the numbers started looking a little more favorable, but did not go away. And then it brought friends. So I don't want people to become so complacent that they're not washing their hands, they're not wearing their masks, they're not sanitizing doorknobs. We got to protect those that are really vulnerable, our children, and those who are elderly. When somebody said, well, Loretta, everybody's elderly. I mean those that are 70 and above or have any other
Yeah,
illnesses.
absolutely.
So let me ask you this. So I think pulmonary
Yes.
hypertension is on the rise too. Does COVID make, and I know you don't catch it, but does COVID make it release some kind of way if you've had it?
Well, it doesn't really make you more likely to get COVID, but it can make you a lot sicker. So if you have any disease involving your lungs already, COVID infection on top of that can be much more severe. So that folks that have those illnesses, among other illnesses, should really strongly make sure that they are vaccinated and keep those vaccinations up to date. Absolutely.
Okay, and then ask you another question. I'm gonna go back. So there are also a lot of cardiac infarctions, I think is the word, but issues with people's heart these days than normal, and especially those that are of the age that you wouldn't think they would have any heart attacks or heart issues. So does COVID or having had COVID, does that make it more prevalent in us?
Well, once again, it doesn't make us more likely to get the infection, but what it does do is make us sicker. So, cardiac disease, lung disease, anything that might affect the immune system, for instance, hypertension, any of those diseases make people more vulnerable to COVID and, frankly, to other viral infections like flu and RSV. So, doesn't make the infection more likely, but it makes us sicker. Those are the people that frequently end up in the hospital and even worse.
Okay. And I can attest to that. I did get my COVID shot and the vaccinations, and I used to have sinuses every time the season changed. Even my sinus issues haven't been as bad since I've had COVID. So I do recommend people getting vaccination, but I like to have these shows so people can make informed decision what's best for you. But it's best for everybody to wear your mask, to sanitize and wash your hands. So what would you recommend we do other than those things, or to do more of that to create a safer environment during the upcoming holiday season and the time we spend it with our loved ones going into 2024?
Yeah, well, those things are very important. Even things like making sure that a room is well ventilated. If you are having a gathering and if the weather is acceptable and it's not too cold, maybe opening up the windows and doors just to make sure that there's good air circulation in the room. That's another thing to keep the environment safe.
Okay. Oh, opening up the rooms and I love that. So why is testing? Because people are still on the fence about it. Either they're really about it or they're really opposed. So can you tell us why it's so important in helping us to get this illness under control?
Yeah, so testing is still important. We got used to hearing about testing, during the COVID pandemic, and it is still really helpful. The symptoms of these respiratory infections are all very similar. We've had them all, sore throat and cough and sniffles and fever and muscle aches. You really can't tell from the symptoms which infection you have. So testing allows you to know what infection you may be dealing with. At-home test for COVID, and now there's very good at-home tests for flu, very important. When you have symptoms and you use those tests, if you get a positive result, then you know what you're dealing with. But if you get a negative result, you may have ruled out those infections, and now you may be dealing with something else. I do want to mention something that's very important. Whenever we do an at-home test for COVID or flu, make sure to read and follow the test instructions to a T. That way, you're getting the best possible accurate result from that test. Also, we all have kits maybe hanging around the house that we've had for a while. If you use one of those kits, check the expiration date on the package. don't use a kit that has expired because you may get an inaccurate result with that kit.
Great information. Oh, I could have this conversation with you for another hour at least. So with you being the president of the College of Pathologists, you are seeing a lot of stuff that ordinary doctors, no shade on anybody. I'm just saying you're on the forefront of this thing. So you're seeing stuff that's happening around not just the United States, but around the world, around the globe. So you have access to information. A lot of people don't. So if he's here telling us what we need to do, you guys don't wait till it gets out of hand. We don't want to see what we saw in 2019, 2020, and 21. We are talking about it now. More people will be together and spreading the love and germs, unfortunately. So make sure we're taking this serious and don't be complacent. So where can we go for more information, Dr. Karcher?
So, Loretta, that's great advice for everyone. So a good source of information is the College of American Pathologists website. If you go to newsroom.cap.org, you'll find a checklist of things that we can all do to help mitigate these respiratory infections.
I'm telling you now, I'm on the forefront of this, Dr. Karcher. I'm going to keep talking about this, keep encouraging people, keep sharing valuable information so people can make informed decisions. And that's what we do. That's all I can do. And I think it's a lot. And what you're doing, thank you. Thank you for being out there. Thank you for the work.
Yeah, thank you. And bless you, Loretta, for what you're doing. And make sure you have a happy and healthy holiday season and 2024.
Absolutely. I told you I'm still wearing my mask. I keep mask. I'm telling everybody, Buc-ee's, if you got a Buc-ee's near you, they had those 50 masks for $1.99. So I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Thank you, Dr. Karcher.
Wonderful.
Have a good day. All right. So he had to go. I'm telling you, he's the president of the College of Pathologists. Honey. He is somebody, and he's in this thing every single day of every minute, every hour. So he knows what's going on. But we're going to kind of go back to our regular programming with the holiday shopping and tips and tricks and deals and steals, honey. And you know, we got my girl back. I love it when Miss Stephanie Humphrey is here. My very favorite, one of my favorite. I can't say whoever's on is my favorite, right? So she is a tech though. Not only is she a lifestyle expert, but she is a tech expert too. So that's why she brings the game and makes it high for us. So welcome, Stephanie.
Hey, Loretta. So nice to be back with you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, honey, I have to have you on at least twice a year during this season because you know all the deals and steals and tricks and of the trade. So let's start off with your recommendations for the hottest tech gadgets this season.
Okay, well, I have two that I'm going to share with you. And first up, we got to start with AR and VR gadgets for the holiday season and in the year ahead. Augmented reality blends the real world with the digital world. And these AR glasses from X-Real turn whatever you're viewing from nearly any device into a 130-inch virtual big screen that you can see through what looks like a pair of sunglasses. These are called X-Real Air 2 Pro, and they're perfect for using on the go. You can watch movies on the plane. You can play video games on the biggest screen possible, or for work when you just want multiple screens that only you can see. They have models that start at $400, but these glasses are a lot sleeker and cost less than the big bulky VR headsets, and they're available today on Amazon and xreal.com. And then let's keep our devices clean because, you know, your mobile device can have 17,000 germs on it. So we definitely need to keep our tech clean. And as you're giving and receiving all of these gadgets this holiday season, give the gift of a clean device. PDI's Easy Screen Wipes, they easily remove all of that dirt, that grime, those fingerprints, those smudges. Easy Screens available in a canister or packet format, and they're just one click away on Amazon, and they're perfect to leave around the house. You clean as you come across any screen or device, or you can throw the packets in your purse or pocket for fast cleaning on the go too. And these wipes are great last-minute stocking stuffers for under $15. And the best part, they work with any of your touchscreens, so tablets, smartphones, and other devices like those TV remote controls too.
Yes, and I just did a segment prior to yours with Dr. Karcher. We're talking about not being complacent this holiday season, flu season, pneumonia, and COVID. We need people to have clean surfaces.
That's right.
does it also disinfect or just clean? Even if it's just cleaning, that's a whole lot.
This is just for cleaning, but you got to think about all those things that you're touching all the time, especially that TV remote. Listen, look at your TV remote right now and just, be shocked and amazed at how dirty it might be. So this is really one of those things that you just want to do on a regular basis for the maintenance, really.
Yes. And I love those wipes because you can keep them all the time in there for your tech devices, remotes, phones, controllers for the kids. And you having people over, everybody's touching those game controllers.
Yeah.
Let's keep them clean. I love that one. Great stocking stuffer, like you said. Okay, so what about using tech to learn?
So for anybody I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, instead of just for fun, how can we use it to learn?
Absolutely. So anybody that's looking for a unique or meaningful gift that might help you connect with loved ones or friends on a deeper level, maybe learn some helpful phrases before you head out for that next globe-trotting adventure, or you just want to keep your brain sharp. My go-to has always been Rosetta Stone, and there's a reason they've been the language learning experts for over 30 years. Their award-winning app teaches with visuals, audio from native speakers, and interactive speaking activities. And a lifetime unlimited subscription is 50% off right now, making it just $199, but it gives you access to all 25 of their languages forever. All the last minute shoppers out there can head to rosettastone.com/holiday sale to take advantage of that special offer.
Again, a genius idea for a stocking stuffer, the person who's everything. And it's because all of us have this goal of traveling abroad. And so what about being able to speak some of the native language? That, honey. Yes.
At least, baby, you want to at least be able to ask, how much does this cost?
Yes.
Before I buy it.
I don't want them to say, oh, here she comes. She has some money and she's probably not as smart as she looks. I want to know if they're saying that about me, Stephanie. And so with the Rosetta Stone, if somebody said, what can I get Loretta? She has a lot of clothes and makeup and hair and necklace. Get me that Rosetta Stone.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The holiday season is also about staying connected to our neighbors and finding good deals. So what do you have for us today on that one?
Well, Nextdoor, the neighborhood app, is going to help you out with that one. So when you're looking for those last minute gifts and maybe you're on a budget too, your neighbor around the corner might have the perfect thing. Nextdoor's for sale and free section can help you find everything from gaming gear, smart TVs and fitness trackers, e-readers and robot vacuums and everything in between. But you can even find a handy person or a vendor on Nextdoor too if your tech gifts need some expertise, like you need a professional TV mounting or some pro equipment setup. Nextdoor has you covered there as well.
See, I'm learning so much about it because we think it's just reporting a dog's in somebody's yard, a dog is lost,
right.
There's a stranger.
There's a porch pirate out there. It's for that too, but you can also find all kinds of services.
But honey, it is so much, and because I know they have business awards on there, they have businesses listed, and like you just said, if you just search it, don't just be a output. It's an input too, where you can search. You can be in charge of the information you receive. Okay. So what are your other go-to options?
Well, I have a great one if you're looking for innovation in your pet products. You can give your pup the gift of cozy comfort this holiday season with Bedshore's orthopedic dog beds. They're designed to better meet the needs of your pet's sleeping habits. I love that they're available in multiple sizes and materials like faux fur, soft Sherpa, and cozy flannel, and that they use orthopedic foam to give that extra support where your pet needs it the most. They're the perfect way to give your furry friend of any size, age, or breed much needed relaxation this holiday season, as if pets couldn't get more relaxed. But they're great for elderly pets or pets with joint problems too. Thousands of 5-star reviews out there for them. And Bedshore's best-selling orthopedic dog beds are available at the Bedshore store on Amazon. And you can get 10% off using the code BedshorePets this holiday season.
Okay, I love 10% off. Again, these are the best holiday ideas because most homes have pets in them, right?
Right.
And they can have more than one bed, and usually they get a favorite bed. You hadn't changed it in so long. So that's a great idea for my grandpups, is to get them a bed.
It is. And then, you know, the holidays, you got a lot of different people in the house, strangers. The pet might get a little anxious. This is a great place for them to go kind of retreat to when it's a little too much going on in the house.
Absolutely, Stephanie. So that's what I love. So your gifts are so unique. You're so unique.
I try, Loretta. I try.
You're like, let me do what people aren't doing. Let me curate my list of those things that people aren't thinking about, because it's easy to go to this and that. But I love how you curated our list for today. Stephanie, thank you so much for those great holiday stocking stuffers and just gift ideas for not just some people in the family, but you included the pets. So that's everybody.
We got everybody in there. But if you need any more information on anything I talked about, you can just follow me on social media at Tech Life Steph.
Tech Life Steph. I'll make sure we put it in the comments. Stephanie, thank you so much. It's so good to see you. Hopefully you'll come back real soon.
Will do. Thank you for having me, and have a happy holiday.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you too. Bye-bye. All right, everybody. So I'm telling you, it is my goal is to give you information, put a twist on it where we can have some fun too. Because I think you learn better when you're putting your emotions into it, even if we having some tough conversations and maybe you cry, you get a little sad, but I'm always going to try to bounce it back with the next guest or topic that we have. But so is life, right? So is life. So anyway, we want to be true to life here on the Loretta McNary Show. No false reality here. It is happening as it happens, because life is happening to us all. But let me tell you this, like I've been ending every show since November. It is a tough season. The holidays are super tough. There's so much going on in the world. We have so much access to deaths and crime and violence, and then it just gets in our soul. And you combine that with things that are happening in our life. Maybe a loved one has passed, or they're sick, or we're having problems in our relationships, whether it's intimate or platonic or even family relationships. And so we have a lot that we're dealing with, and I don't take that lightly. And then yet you tune in. So I just want to say thank you for that. Thank you for stepping away from all that. And hopefully the topics were interesting and informative and entertaining and helped you in the moment. That's all I can ask. I just want to help you in the moment. And if it bleeds over into more and longer, then yay. But I understand it's tough. It's tough for me too. But we're in this thing together. We're in this thing together, and we're all going to be stronger together. 2024, even these next couple of weeks, and 2023 are going to be fantastic. Choose kindness, choose joy. Keep hope alive. And I'll see you in the very next segment. All right. Happy holidays, everybody.